You got in your car this morning, turned a key, pressed a pedal, and moved 40 miles an hour without firing a single muscle group. 100,000 years ago, covering that exact same distance would have required 2 full days of walking barefoot through hostile territory. There were no roads, no paths, and no signs indicating what lay ahead. Getting anywhere meant risking your life, and you had nothing to carry you there except your own 2 feet. This diagram breaks down the unique biomechanics of the human stride. Your feet have arches that act as literal springs, and your Achilles tendon stores and releases energy with every step, significantly reducing the load on your muscles. Combine that with a network of 2 million sweat glands cooling your skin, and the result is an apex endurance walker. While a cheetah might hit 70 miles an hour, it overheats and has to stop after just a few seconds. Human anatomy is built to travel at lower speeds, but to do it relentlessly. You can walk 20 miles in a day, sleep, and repeat that exact cycle for weeks. No other mammal on the savanna can manage that thermal load without collapsing. In 1978, paleoanthropologist Mary Leakey discovered these tracks in Tanzania. They were pressed into volcanic ash 3.6 million years ago by 2 individuals walking upright, side by side. They look nearly identical to the prints you would leave on a beach today. For millions of years, this extreme physical endurance was the primary transportation technology for our ancestors. Yet it was enough to eventually carry small, organized groups of humans completely out of Africa. Looking at this global map, you can trace a massive, multi-generational migration starting roughly 70,000 years ago. Generation by generation, humans walked through the Middle East, spread across Asia, crossed the land bridge into Alaska, and pushed 15,000 miles south through the Americas. This expansion was highly calculated. Archaeologists find coastal shells hundreds of miles inland, and volcanic obsidian traded across vast mountain ranges. People were actively networking on foot to secure specific resources they knew existed miles away. But walking simply has hard physical limits. A desert or a mountain pass can be traversed, but a deep river or an open ocean immediately stops foot traffic. And even on flat terrain, a person can only walk so far while carrying a heavy animal they just hunted. Water and weight formed absolute physical walls. To continue expanding their reach and build permanent, complex societies, humans had to find ways to move beyond their own biological limitations. For hundreds of thousands of years, water was a strict barrier. It cut through hunting grounds and blocked migration routes. Without a shallow crossing, a river or a coastline meant you simply had to turn around. Then, archaeologists working on the Indonesian island of Flores found stone tools dating back roughly 800,000 years. Flores was separated from the mainland by 12 miles of open ocean, even during the lowest sea levels of the ice ages. Someone deliberately made a crossing. By 65,000 years ago, humans successfully crossed from Southeast Asia to Australia. This required navigating at least 60 miles of open ocean. You cannot see Australia from the opposing shore. Someone built a buoyant structure, pointed it at a horizon they couldn't see past, and paddled. By 3,000 years ago, the Polynesians were constructing large, double-hulled sailing canoes, loading them with supplies and families, and crossing the Pacific Ocean. Without compasses or maps, they tracked the stars, ocean swells, and bird flight patterns to hit isolated islands across thousands of miles of open water. Buoyancy conquered the water barrier. Yet back on solid ground, the problem of moving massive cargo across dry dirt remained. The human skeletal and muscular system breaks down under heavy strain. A healthy individual maxes out around 40 to 60 pounds before carrying that load over long distances begins causing physical damage. You cannot carry a 200-pound kill back to camp by yourself. To bypass this limitation, humans developed the travois. By tying 2 long poles together in a V-shape with a cargo platform in the middle, a single person could distribute the weight over a sliding frame and effectively drag well over 100 pounds. Dragging was efficient, but human muscles were still providing the energy. Around 15,000 years ago, humans began outsourcing the physical labor entirely by domesticating dogs. In the Arctic, teams of dogs were hooked to sleds, easily moving an entire family's camp across the ice. But dogs are small. A massive increase in overland capacity required an animal much larger. Roughly 5,500 years ago, on the vast steppes of what is now Kazakhstan, humans domesticated the horse. This scale comparison shows the exact impact of that biological upgrade. For over 300,000 years, the human speed limit was 4 miles an hour. On horseback, you could hit 30. The time it took to cross a landscape was divided by 8. Tapping into biological animal power extended the reach of human society. Messages arrived in days instead of weeks, and overland trade routes stretched across entire continents. An army on horseback could now strike from hundreds of miles away before a target could prepare a defense. It is a strange chronological paradox, but humans had managed to navigate open oceans and tame wild horses thousands of years before anyone figured out the wheel. This diagram traces the evolution of wheel technology, showing why it took so long to become useful for travel. The earliest wheels found in Slovenia date to roughly 3200 BC and were solid, heavy discs of wood that cracked easily and bogged down in mud. It wasn't until around 2000 BC that engineers carved out the heavy wood to create the much lighter, friction-reducing spoked wheel. Take that lightweight spoked wheel, attach it to a chariot, harness it to a domesticated horse, and place the whole mechanism onto the first paved roads, which appeared around 4000 BC, you get an interlocking technology. This combination of engineering and animal power provided a reliable method for moving heavy supplies and large armies over land. It solved the logistical problem of distance, allowing centralized empires to manage territories thousands of miles from their capital. Today, you can fly 3,000 miles across an ocean in 6 hours. Our transportation systems have scaled up into such massive, hyper-organized networks of airports and highways that the effort of movement has become practically invisible. We sit in climate-controlled metal boxes doing 70 miles an hour on smooth pavement, and we get genuinely irritated if our flight is delayed by 10 minutes or the Wi-Fi drops out. We have solved the physical limitations of distance so thoroughly that we forgot distance was ever a threat. But every highway, airport, and cargo ship on Earth exists today simply because 300,000 years ago, someone stared at a dangerous, unknown horizon and started walking anyway.